Ever since the first engines were attached to pedal-powered bicycles back in the late 19th century, it became clear that this would always be far more than merely a form of transport. Motorcycling is a way of life, and the whole world over, a camaraderie and spirit of adventure is shared by bikers wherever they happen to come from and whatever machine they happen to ride. In this program, however, we'll be focusing on one specific manufacturer, celebrating the phenomenon that is and always will be Yamaha. Early motorcycles quickly gained in popularity, and as the engineering luminaries of Great Britain, such as Ariel, Norton, and Triumph, made names for themselves, motorcycle racing fast developed a dedicated following. However, with the outbreak of the First World War, all industrial production was turned over to military requirements. While this didn't help the cause of motorcycle racing directly, it certainly helped solidify the names of certain motorcycle production companies in people's minds, and undoubtedly contributed to the growing interest in bike racing after the war. Once peace had been restored, the fascination with motorcycles became greater than ever, although in Japan, Yamaha still hadn't entered the marketplace. You may have thought that as the storm clouds heralding a Second World War gathered, Yamaha might then have begun its long and illustrious history in motorcycle production, but you'd be wrong. It was only after the war had ended and the familiar giants of the racetracks failed to move with the times that the company's future started to take shape. While Western manufacturers rested on their laurels, the same could not be said of their Japanese counterparts. Yamaha were poised and ready to take full advantage of the situation. Although Yamaha was a late starter in the motorcycle industry, it all began when Junichi Kawakami, the then president of what is now the Yamaha Corporation, produced the first of the company's remarkable bikes. Right from the beginning, Mr. Kawakami had a clear vision for Yamaha motorcycles. And when he said that if you were going to do something, then be the best, he served notice that Yamaha was ready to take on the more established motorcycle manufacturers of the West, like Triumph and the iconic Harley-Davidson. Yamaha originally began its business manufacturing musical instruments, specializing in pianos. But during World War II, the Japanese government ordered the company to set up a factory to produce airplane propellers. With great foresight, Mr. Kawakami quickly came to the conclusion that the people of Japan would have a much greater need for transport in the post-war years than pianos, and this proved to be very well-founded indeed. Yamaha began producing simple and inexpensive motorcycles in 1954, and as well as being extremely reliable, great attention was paid to the appearance of the bike as well. Over the ensuing years, worldwide trade grew and relations between Japan and America improved. By 1958, these popular Yamahas were soon being sold in the USA by an independent distributor. However, as sales grew, it became apparent that the company needed to be in control of their US-based sales. So when the 1960s rolled around, the Yamaha International Corporation took charge of their own distribution, opening its first subsidiary in the United States. Along with Suzuki and Kawasaki, Yamaha was soon putting Japanese motorcycles on the world map as a force to be reckoned with. So much so that through the latter part of the 20th century, they dominated motorcycle racing, with the likes of Kenny Roberts and Steve Baker winning many races astride a Yamaha bike. It wasn't just on the racetracks that Yamaha blossomed, though. Raw speed wasn't everything. And Yamaha demonstrated this with the stylish imagination of the Virago, Dragstar, and R1 bikes, to name but a few of their most iconic brands. Not that their racing heritage was overlooked, especially when Italian motorcycling ace Valentino Rossi joined Yamaha from Honda, winning back-to-back world championships in 2004 and 2005. From cruisers and super sports to off-road motorcycles and scooters, Yamaha are now selling their machines all over the world, with an enviable presence in 33 countries. That said, the wisdom of Junichi Kawakami is still strictly adhered to even today. In fact, as you see these fabulous bikes in action, there's a Japanese term that sums up the philosophy of Yamaha to perfection. Kondo describes what it feels like to experience profound excitement and gratification derived from experiencing supreme quality and performance, something that Yamaha works tirelessly to deliver. In this age where the work-life balance has never been more crucial for our well-being, motorcycles offer both practical transport solutions and the ultimate form of escapism. Despite being a little late to the table, Yamaha have become and remain the true masters of this not quite so ancient art. Throughout the course of this program, we'll be taking a closer look at a variety of Yamahas that are as stylish as they are practical, ranging from 50 cc's right through to the superbike giants. So without further ado, may I introduce a motorcycle that exudes Yamaha style and power. When Yamaha say, meet the monster, it's the XJR 1300 that you'll come face to face with. A bike that's perfectly described as being the ultimate in street muscle. Tough and uncompromising, yet so well balanced its ease of handling puts the rider in complete control. The XJR 1300 will always get you noticed, and for all the right reasons. Taking the Yamaha mantra of when you want proper muscle, there's no substitute for CCs, the XJR 1300 is unashamedly big on power, big on technology, and big on looks. It comes packing a classic air-cooled, four-stroke, forward-inclined parallel four-cylinder. With 4 valves apiece and a double overhead cam design, the engine alone screams muscle bike. With fuel injection, this 1251cc machine is power loaded, and even in top gear will pull away without an excess of clutch slip. In fact, the secret of its success has to be the mountain of smooth torque, which is spread through the entire revolution range. Described often as the ultimate twist-and-go motor, the XJR is all about smooth acceleration with a lot of headroom. Its impressive top speed of 140 miles per hour will woo most riders. But due to its size, many find cruising at the 80 mile per hour mark much more to their taste. As due to the large engine bore, the revs are so minimal at this speed that it's an incredibly comfortable ride. As you would expect, this is far from being a lightweight bike at 254 kilograms. But with its double cradle tubular steel frame, with box section aluminum swing arm, it's actually surprisingly easy to handle. The suspension was criticized on earlier models for rocking back and forth slightly, producing a degree of wobble. But later modifications saw the back of this minor hiccup. The XJR now has one of the smoothest rides of the Yamaha range. 298mm